Hey yo! Look like we about to watch Transformers 1 for I ain't gonna lie to you.
Transformers. Transformers.
I hope this movie's good.
Optimus. I hope it. Transformers.
He literally has Optimus.
Octopus.
So we about to watch Transformers 1. I hope it's good. Have a lot. My thoughts are voice acting is gonna be okay. We'll see. Not super duper hyped just due to the voice acting cast. It's all celebrity stunt casting, but we'll see. I don't think it is a small fact of mine, but as you can tell, I am a massive Transformers fan. So when they initially announced an animated Transformers film set on Cybertron, exploring the dynamics of two of the greatest characters in pop culture history, I lost it. I was so excited. I couldn't wait to see it. This is the first animated Transformers movie we're getting, well, theatrically, since the '86 movie. I could not wait to see what they had in store for us. Then I saw the cast, and I lost it. I lost it. No Peter Cullen or no notable voice actors from the Transformers franchise was in this movie at all. It felt like a gigantic slap in the face to not only the actors who have portrayed these characters for decades, but a slap in the face to the fans who have come to love and appreciate the talent of such great voice actors. So as you would expect, my hater mode was on 10,000. Even though I was going to see the movie with an open mind, the cast really turned me off. Then reviews started pouring, and then friends started telling me about the film. And even then I was like, yeah, I'm sure the movie's good. I'm sure it's great. This is one of the best Transformers projects in years and probably one of my favorite films of the year so far. Yo, welcome to another video of mine. If I sound a little nasally, a little mucusy, I'm coming off of a head cold. I don't know how long this is gonna last, but here's hoping I don't have to deal with this for too long. I love Transformers. I have so many figures, some y'all haven't even seen. I have multiple posters. Optimus Prime is literally right there. You see him in all of my interviews. It's no secret which franchise is probably my favorite of all time. Transformers '07 is literally the reason you guys know me as the creator I am today. I probably wouldn't even have started a YouTube if it wasn't for Transformers. I love talking about it. I love the figures, and seeing it with my friends, yo, that was an experience. I was so hyped to see this movie with my friends. My great cast for Transformers Distortion. I'm even in a stop motion series. Can't forget that. Now, this would be a spoiler review, but unfortunately, for some ungodly reason, half of the world hasn't seen this movie yet. This was not a worldwide release. A lot of people are getting this movie in mid-October. Yeah, no wonder this movie is not gonna make the money it's supposed to. Why has half of the world seen it and the other half hasn't? It's so weird, it's so annoying, and oh gosh. I just can't wait to get into spoiler talk. Specifically, I'm gonna talk deeply about the dynamic between Optimus and Megatron because we're gonna get into the pros, but I do have a few cons I wanna get out of the way because I honestly, like I said, I really love this movie. I was not expecting to love it as much as I was due to the casting, man. I'm really, and still, even after seeing the movie, I'm still not sold on the whole idea of just this being a solely celebrity-based casting. So let's get into those cons, and no better way than to start than by talking about my biggest issue with the movie going into it, the voice acting. The voice acting in this was alright. Brian Tyree Henry needs to play Megatron like in a lot of things. He was so freaking good, and you could feel the passion, the anger, the frustration from his Megatron just exude off of the screen. There are so many moments, so many speeches that Brian Tyree Henry gets in this film that he just embodies. Like, he is a Megatron, he is Megatronus, he is D16. Well, not Megatronus, because Megatronus is another thing, but you feel so much just from Brian Tyree Henry's passion and love of the character alone. I cannot say that for a lot of the cast, unfortunately, and that's not saying that they are bad. I actually, surprisingly, I did really enjoy Chris Hemsworth's take on Orion Pax. Not so much as Optimus Prime, which I'll get into later, but his Orion Pax actually was pretty decent. Like, I really dug it. Bumblebee was just Keegan-Michael Key. I'm gonna get into Bumblebee later as well, but he was cool. Scarlett Johansson. Why do people keep casting Scarlett Johansson in these voice acting roles? She literally does not care. She's barely been a part of the marketing campaign. Oh my gosh, Josh, she did 2 interviews. She did. Bro, I have seen Brian, Chris, and Keegan carrying the promotion of this film on their backs. Scarlett just joined in the later half. She does not care about this movie, man, and it shows. So many more lines would have hit if it was done by someone who cared and was a professional voice actor. Scarlett Johansson is not a voice actor. She does not care to do these roles. A lot of the lines she delivered were just kind of like, okay. And the characterization of Alita was cool, but I didn't feel anything because Scarlett didn't feel anything. She collected her some odd $1 million check and went home. She did not care. And that's my issue with celebrity casting in general, is that you get these people who are supposed to embody these characters to a T, exude all this emotion and anger, this sadness and pain that voice actors do so well, but these celebrities just come in and don't care. Yes. Direction cannot be underscored in how these performances come to life. But you know who else needs direction? These talented voice actors who've been doing this for decades. Why is Colleen O'Shaughnessy an exception and not the rule? I understand from a marketing perspective that yes, you want to get as many celebrities in these movies as you can because it somehow equates to money. Yeah, because Transformers 1 is going to be doing so well, right? It's so frustrating to see that so many voice actors do not get the time of day just because they're not the next celebrity. And they can embody these roles so much better. Gosh, Alita One would have hit so much more for me if she was portrayed by a person who does this for a living and actually cared. She didn't care. Same with Keegan-Michael Key. Even though his Bumblebee was cool, it was just him. I wasn't the biggest fan of how Bumblebee was portrayed in this film. I felt like he was just there for humor and stuff, but I felt like he was just there for humor when Bumblebee has like so much more to offer. He's this cool scout. I love Bumblebee in G1 and I love him in Prime, and I don't know. I just want to go back to that G1B. Oh, I love him in the Bumblebee movie as well. Like, I thought that was great as well. Just love Dylan O'Brien's take on it. Although that should have been Dan Gilvezan, I will say that, who played Bumblebee in the G1 film, who could still do the voice to this day. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, that's my issue with the voice acting in this film. It was cool. Brian Tyree Henry was not cool. He was phenomenal. Knocked it out of the park 10 times. Home run, baby. He going to that base. He going to that diamond. Well, everyone else was okay, you know. Chris Hemsworth as Orion Pax was pretty good. When he got to Optimus, I would have loved if Peter Cullen would have come in at the end there to deliver some of those iconic speeches. Next con, humor. Humor was overbearing a lot of the times, and I hate how Bumblebee was just the humor. Bumblebee was just a humor machine. Funny joke, duh, 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 duh. But Bumblebee wasn't his own character a lot of the times, I felt. A lot of the times he was just there for a quick laugh and feud. I mean, Keegan-Michael Key is a great comedian. He played the role of B they wanted to very well. I did enjoy, because I enjoyed Keegan-Michael Key. He's a really cool actor. So I enjoyed hearing him in the film, but I just didn't enjoy him as Bumblebee because the way they wrote Bumblebee in this film was really lackluster. He has no growth as a character as much as Megatron or Optimus, and heck, even Alita had a little bit of character development going on there. I will say Alita and Bumblebee are in the running for who has the least amount of character growth in the film, but I don't like that Bumblebee was just a humor device. I wanted more from Bumblebee, and he had no growth. The movie did have growth with the two characters that mattered the most. The crux of the film had a lot of growth there, and that's great. But other than that, some of the humor was really overbearing. I wouldn't say undercut a lot of moments, but it was like, I'm like, all right, this joke is kind of going on for a little bit too long, or you could have cut the joke there. And that's all I have for the cons. And funny enough, we're going to start off the pros with the humor. I know it's opposite day, but no, I will say, even though the humor was overbearing at times, there is a lot of times where the humor just busted me up laughing. There's a part with Orion Pax in the beginning with these other Transformers that is so good. I love that bit. That bit replays in my mind over and over. I just love that bit so much. It was so funny. Megatron and Optimus had a lot of funny bantering moments together, which I thought worked really well and really played into the horror and heartbreaking nature of them falling out, which was, oh my gosh. Gonna get into that, I promise. The humor, while also its weak point, also served as a strong suit because, y'all, this film gets really dark. You need that humor. You don't want Transformers to be this depressing, super sad tale, which it lends itself to be. Because, I mean, think about it. Megatron, this minor gladiator guy who is broken down constantly by the systems put in place to hold him and his friends down, and he feels the weight of oppression on his shoulder over and over again. And that's why the fall of Megatron and Optimus is so good, because they're in the same position. Let's just talk about it, man. Optimus Prime and Megatron's dynamic and fallout was the best part of this movie. If this movie failed on that part of their development, their growth, this movie would have been a 0 out of 10. This movie thrives on that dynamic and it paying off and being so heartbreaking. I cannot tell you how many times I gasped, damn near cried, because of how well told the story of Orion Pax and D16 was told. Seeing Megatron and Optimus slowly fall off and fall apart as the film went on when they get what they need to get was just so well done. Oh my God. And like I said, Brian Tyree Henry in this movie did not come to play. He said, I want every award I could possibly get for playing Megatron, because a lot of this, the line delivery, the messaging that Megatron has, there's this one speech in the third act that plays in my head so there's multiple speeches. Hell, I can't even. The third act one sticks out a lot, but there's this one where we're finding out what's really going on with Cybertron and what's happening to lead them in the positions they're in. There's this one speech D16 gives to Orion Pax that you literally heard the theater go silent. Silent. No one, you could drop a pen and you'd hear it. That's how good Brian Tyree Henry delivered those lines and how well written it was, man. I love seeing Megatron become Megatron. I love seeing Orion Pax become Optimus Prime. I loved so many moments in this film, and as I've said before, music adds so greatly into what makes these moments so good. And this movie's music, dog. The composer for this film is Brian Tyler, and if you're not familiar with Brian Tyler, he did Thor: The Dark World, but also most notably, he did Transformers Prime. And y'all, there are so many score moments that he brings in from Transformers Prime. There's this one moment in the third act where he brings in a cue from Transformers Prime, and every time I hear it, like after the fact, I get goosebumps. The music is so good in this, and it's so unique. It's very techno-based. It's not like what Steve Jablonsky does. And I love Steve down. He is one of my favorite composers of all time just due to the Transformers scores. He is a great composer, and he's produced some incredible and iconic composed tracks for this franchise. Brian Tyler, I gotta give you 10s, my man, because you knocked it out of the park. He added such a unique sound and really added to a lot of the unique elements that come from Transformers 1. There are so many tracks that I've just been playing over and over again. Brian Tyler, you're the GOAT, and you did such a phenomenal job with this film. 10 out of 10 music. Definitely gonna be listening again and again and again. He needs to come back for the sequel that y'all... I need a sequel for this movie now. Let's not play. I need a sequel for this movie, and I need Brian Tyler to come back and deliver some of that iconicness that he brought to this first one. I think what I love the most about when composers come back to franchises and films that I already did is to see how they evolve the score that they already made and take pieces and turn it on their head and make it new. And beautiful. Bring Brian Tyler back. Another thing that was beautiful about this movie was the animation. I really loved a lot of the animation in this film. I don't know, it looks so good. A lot of the film looks great. There's so many moments that stuck out to me. Josh Cooley was talking about this in this interview he did with Brian Tyree Henry. He was talking about a lot of the aspects that went into like the fire and the glossy look of the Transformers. Like, dude, there was a lot of thought and intentionality placed into the animation, and I can see why this movie took so long to come out, because oh my gosh, Cybertron looks beautiful. A lot of the transforming parts look great. The transforming looked cool. I love how they came together. Action, oh my gosh. The action was animated so good. Like, this is some of the best action in the franchise. There's this one bit where Optimus Prime is fighting, I guess he was Orion Pax at that point, but Orion Pax is fighting someone. He grabs him, transforms, twists, like snaps him in half, and transforms again into just rooms and gets back into the action. Like, I loved all of that, especially that little where you see Alita like kick the gun and shoot all those guys in the trailer. Like, that moment fully played out in the movie was like, mwah, fantastic. I love the action. I loved how it looked. I loved all of it. But one thing I loved the most about this film was the messaging. The messaging of this film was heartbreaking and true. As we live in this society that praises money, praises attention, doesn't care about the lower class man, and we're seeing how the poor are getting poorer and the rich are getting richer, the messaging of this film is what really ties it all together. What makes the dynamic between Optimus and Megatron so heartfelt and so shocking. Because it's true. I understand why Megatron wants to do what he wants to do to certain characters in this film, because of what they learn, what they go through, the battles, the trials and tribulations, and how it affects each individual character. When I feel comfortable enough to finally talk spoilers, because I want to give the film a little bit more time to people to enjoy and see it, I can't wait to give my video just talking about Optimus and Megatron's dynamic and the messaging and how great it is. This movie is so well written, it's so competent, it's dark. This movie is really, really dark. Like, as much as I had my issues with the humor, if Bumblebee or there wasn't like a comedic moment here and there wasn't in this film, dog, I think this would be like a PG-13 movie, because I think it's like a PG if I'm correct. I'll correct myself in the editing. So much of this is so dark, so personal. And I think that's what makes this movie so good and one of the greatest movies in the... This is probably the greatest Transformers movie, if I'm being honest with you. I know it's overplayed and everyone keeps saying it, but no, seriously, like, this movie is the best in the Transformers franchise because of how personal it is and how we care about a lot of the characters in this film, and how the fall is like, what the... Wow, this makes sense. Everyone has a reason for what they're doing and why they feel the way they feel. And I love that. This is the first time we've seen Optimus and Megatron's dynamic portrayed so well and so heartfelt and heartbreaking. Prime as well. You know, I love what they do in Prime. And of course, G1 is always fun to go back to. And the Cybertron games. Oh my gosh. But here, you feel the friendship. You feel the bond. You feel just the weight of the world on everyone's shoulder and how it leads them into where they are. I had so much fun with Transformers 1, man, truly. Transformers 1 is the complex and multi-layered film a franchise like Transformers deserve. It's so good, and it brings me so much pain that this movie isn't gonna probably gross as much as the other Transformers films, and that is so on Paramount's fault for not only the marketing, but like I said, this movie is releasing for another half of the world in October. Why? I can't even wrap my head around it, and it's definitely playing into the lackluster numbers for the film. But y'all, if you have the chance, please watch Transformers 1. So much heart, so much passion, and honestly, just go for Brian Tyree Henry's performance as Megatron. Come for the story, come for the fantastic music and animation, but Brian Tyree Henry is literally the standout for this film. I would watch this. I'm gonna watch this movie over and over just for his performance. But yeah, guys, this is what what I thought on Transformers 1. What did you guys think? Have you seen it? I would love to have a discussion with all of you wonderful individuals in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace, love, safety. Until next time, let me know what you think of Transformers 1.
Well, that's it. That's crazy.
Voice cast! Hold on. Let's pop the voice actor. Hold on. Steve Bloom! Steve! Yes! They got one! They have one! They have one! We got one voice actor. We all have one who does this for Steve Bloom. Everyone else has appeared in the record.
That was insane.
We stand here together. As what? As what? As partners! Yeah!
Yo, that was type gas. I ain't gonna lie.